hustlers, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, please click that subscribe button. We talk about personal finance and making sense of your finances here. So I thought I would bring you guys financial planning essentials in a crisis video, just things that you can do right now since we are currently experiencing a crisis that could help you evaluate your finances better, plan ahead better, and kind of just be calm and get a wrap around what's happening with your finances and other aspects of your life. Please excuse the lighting. It's currently in the afternoon, so the sun keeps going in and out, but the most important thing is the information I share here and not my face. So yeah, so anyway, before we move on, I just want to say this is not financial advice. Please see a registered financial advisor that will put your needs above theirs, and someone who will give you more tailor-made and more focused financial advice towards you and your needs. This is just financial information and education that I'm sharing with you guys to help you get more educated and find out more information around the topic of personal finance, which happens to be my favorite. Okay, cool. So the first essential that I would say, or financial planning essential that I would say is very important, is to stay calm where your investments are concerned. You heard me. Stay calm, keep a level headed, don't apply your emotions. I mentioned this in my previous video. Just stay calm where your investments are concerned. If your investments are currently at a 20% decline, or they've reduced, or your share portfolio is at a 20% decline, and you realize those losses, or you realize those losses and you make them real instead of them just being paper losses and just losses on paper. Another thing to consider is that if you had a 1 million rand portfolio and it loses value to 800k and you sell, you need to get 25% return to be back at your original 1 million rand value. Just let that sink in. So when we put numbers into perspective, how much return should you get on a 1 million rand a portfolio that you sell at 800k, and you realize the loss at 800k? It's a 25% return for you to get back to 1 million. And if you sell out in the market, you miss out on a chance of it changing or moving from bear to bull. So if you've sold in a bear market and it reverses or changes into a bull market, and you haven't invested in anything, and you've taken out and you've kind of sold all your investments at that point in time, you miss out on that turn, or you miss out on those growths or the change that the market will be realizing at that point in time. So stay calm, keep a level headed. I have a video about buying, selling, or holding your investments. Please do check it out after this one, where I go more in depth about what I'm doing with regards to my investment. Second thing to do is to protect your emergency funds. Protecting your emergency funds for a loss of income, so any potential loss of income, any potential medical costs that you could incur, medical expenses and all of that stuff. But at the same time, you don't want to protect your your emergency fund and then go into debt, right? If there's an emergency, or if you're in a situation where you need some extra cash, go into your emergency fund, but you need to be very strict. I have a video about emergency funds, about what an emergency is, defining what the emergency is, and is that situation really an emergency, or is it a situation of you just cutting back somewhere in your budget to fork out money to sort out that financial situation. So if you do have an emergency fund and you do need money, use your money from your emergency fund, but right now is the time to be protecting any money that you have saved up, just for any future losses, any medical expenses you can incur, and all of that stuff. It's very important to protect yourself and protect anything that you can't control, or anything that will be out of your hands and out of your control. Then the third thing is to check your insurance. Now is the time, honey, to take out all those insurance forms, everything from your life cover to your medical aid to your car insurance. Read through the terms and conditions, read through the fine print, and really understand in your medical aid what is covered and what is not covered. In your life cover, should something happen to you right now, since we are in this crisis and you do get ill and you pass away, what is in your life cover covered and what is not? What can you claim from? And really, all those information. Now is the time to really go through your contracts with a fine-tooth comb and really find out the details and understand where you stand and what your position is on those things. Another one that's very important, some guys have income protection policies. Find out what are the terms and conditions there should you become redundant, should you not have a job. How can you claim? What are the terms of claiming? Can anyone claim, or do you need to be redundant in a certain way? All of that information you need to find out for yourself. Then the fourth thing is to update your will and your life policies, or your policy beneficiaries. Now, if you pass away and you don't have a will, you die in interstate, which basically means that the state will prescribe what happens to your assets on your behalf, and maybe what they prescribe and how they allocate your assets to your family is not what you would have wished or you would have wanted. Another one is that it's very important also, if you do have kids, to give instruction on your will about what should happen to the funds that you leave behind to your kids. You can put aside or a clause in there that you want to have a special trust fund opened for your kids, and you also say who the trustees are, or the people that will be in the trust fund or benefit from the trust fund. Another thing is that if you don't do that, then the state takes this money and keeps it in government-run guardian policy or investments, and you have no say about how this money is invested if you don't set up these type of things now. I know it's very scary to think about this. You don't want to be thinking about the negative, but you also want to make sure that your future and your kids and your assets and your wealth is well protected and is in your hands, and you have control over that situation. Then the last thing I can mention and say is contact a financial advisor, specifically also if you've got investment portfolios, you've got retirements, you've got assets, and there's just lots of movement around those things. You're not really sure what to do or how to go about making a decision on certain things. Bringing in a financial advisor right now would be a perfect time to just get things into perspective. Maybe you don't have a life cover, maybe you don't have a retirement annuity. Maybe this is the time to see or contact someone. I have a financial advisor and they are associated with Sanlam. If you guys are interested, you can drop me a mail. I'll leave my email address down here and I can send you her contacts, or alternatively you can find one on lesplan.co.za. I'll leave them down below so you can find one for yourself. It's a website that has all registered CFPs, which are certified financial planners. So yeah guys, this is the time for it to really sit down, go through your finances, really be in tune with what's happening, be honest with yourself. Are you over indebted? Because maybe this is the time to also be going through and working on a plan to get out of debt, or to reduce the amount of debt that you have, to free up some money so you can save. For me, this situation has really put the urgency of increasing the money I put towards my emergency fund. I realized that my emergency fund is actually a joke. The 3 months that I was trying to save for actually should be 6 months. After the situation, I'm going aggressive into my saving. Every low money, any extra money, anything that I'm making, I am putting into my emergency fund so that I can be secure and that I can be comfortable, and that I can just be at peace and not worry that should I maybe lose a job or have a salary pay cut or whatever it is, I'm able to still maintain and honor my living expenses and pay for rent and pay for all these other things that I have that are a responsibility. So yeah, that's what I'm doing during this time, and I'm following this financial planning steps. Let me know what you are doing during this time to mitigate risk, or to sort out your finances, or to actually, maybe this is a wake-up call for you and you are like, you had no clue on what your finances were, what was going on with your finances, and now you're taking this time to get a rein on into your finances. As always guys, keep hustling. Let me know down below what you enjoyed about this video, and I'll catch you guys on my next video. Bye.